Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it is, all right. Yep.
Is
You got
this
plenty of time.
cursive,
All
like
set.
cursive writing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll open the
wants to bring
meeting.
it back.
Can you say the pledge, Travis?
Our one friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our hope friend.
That sounds really bad.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'll go to the minutes because Larry's not in here. I don't want to, he might have something to say. I don't want to, or anybody, I mean.
Oh,
I'll come
Minutes
back to it.
next.
We'll go to minutes, it's okay with the board. 1:22:20, the public minutes.
I will make a motion to approve the January 22nd public minutes with the corrections that have been sent to Tammy.
Second?
Anybody else have any corrections?
If anybody wants to see them, Kathy is now giving me my corrections in red.
Okay,
So-
anybody? Melissa?
Aye.
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 Okay. All right. Okay, non-public, January 22nd, 2020, Wednesday.
I will make a motion to approve the non-public minute. I can't even say those meeting minutes, with corrections if there were any that I sent to
Second.
Tammy.
Non-public.
Oh, yeah.
Why is Melissa excused in one and not the other?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just noticed that.
Why what?
Why am I
Melissa's-
excused from one and not the other?
Did you
See,
leave?
look, there's
Did you leave?
See?
So were you there or weren't there? I don't remember.
Oh, you know what? I took out the excused
Okay.
in the non-public because she was here for both.
That's when we ran to the bathroom.
That's why I like
I
having
know, we
my
were fighting over the
That's
rest.
why I
corrections.
remember.
Good catch. I mean, I just thought of that too.
You're
we did-
welcome.
Who seconded that one? I'm
I
sorry.
did.
Oh, I'm sorry. My train of thought got lost. Melissa, that you were here.
Aye.
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 All right, okay, now, just for you, Larry and Jan, we didn't do the public comments. Do we have any public comments? Larry? Travis? What's that? Nothing? Well,
Not yet.
just put your hand up so I can see it.
I do done. I got something I want to say.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you're allowed to, yeah. You're a voter, taxpayer. What's your name, though?
Who's the new guy?
Bob Carrier. Yeah, I know, I don't do very much
Who was
talking, but
elected in Rochester?
what?
Oh, Dover.
Dover, yeah.
I just made a special trip up here.
Good.
This is be brief. There's just a couple of things I think that needs to be done here. It's time to recognize the school board, the SAU personnel, and the principals for all the work that they do especially during the budget season. There's a lot of work putting in these proposed budgets together, and with the new changes that the legislature's made in the past year, determines what can be put in and what can't be put in the default budget, makes it even more difficult to put a proposed budget together. I feel that they put a lot of work in there. I've been to some of these budget workshops, and I've seen the process. And with this new rules with the default budget, it got even tougher. You had to make sure you didn't put something that did not belong in there, and something that should be in there was not in there. So I thank you for the work that you'll do. This is just for me personally, but I believe it needs to be said. There's a lot of work that you people do on this school board. Since sitting here, and I've seen a lot of it, and I got a lot of paperwork to back that up. The other thing I want to say is, it seems like people have forgotten that Milton is a standalone SAU. The SAU and school board decided at one of their school board meetings where the withdrawal was going to take place, whether they become a standalone SAU or look to join another SAU. The board decided this was an opportunity to see if it was possible to be a standalone SAU. So the SAU and the school board got together worked very hard, and it made it happen. Now, I wasn't sure if it was possible since Milton's portion of the SAU budget was only 43%. Math-wise, it wouldn't work. But the SAU and the school board worked very hard as a team and made it possible. Superintendent Mr. Sussman found people that work in the school district were qualified to do some of the work for the SAU, eliminating hiring more people and saving the district money, and still be in compliance with the SAU requirements. The current staff also took on more work. The residents of Milton should be proud that Milton is a standalone SAU and control their own destiny. This is what teamwork is all about. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob, for all your support.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else? Still moving on. Superintendent report.
Okay, I'm very glad to report tonight. The first thing we'll talk about just a little bit is Jan and Emily are both here, and in the event there is snow tomorrow, so we get it in right at the beginning. Your awards will be when?
March 5th.
Okay, so parents that are there, in the event we do not have a delay or we don't have school, the awards will be
Same time on March 5th.
same time on March 5th. Okay, and the profile of a graduate that is, we're really psyched to be tomorrow at 12:30 to 2:30. You'll get word out,
Yes,
correct?
if we have to, yes, we'll reschedule.
Yeah, so that everyone involved with that group will know when the time will be, and also two people that would like to come, we invite everybody all aboard. The fences are out to involve everyone in that. A couple of words here. One of the things that we have been working really hard in is involving the folks of the kids, the parents, and whomever the child resides in. I think the triad is very, very, very important. And I think that the accessibility of the administration and myself, I know this morning I was on the phone 6:30 or so, 7 o'clock, very early, with folks that work at night. And oftentimes I feel calls very late at night as well. They have my cell phone, and I think that the accessibility of all of us is very, 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 very important. And over the last years, a lot of people have taken advantage of that, and I think that a lot more can take advantage. Because we talk about an IEP, an individual educational plan. An IEP is not designed just for a special education student. Everyone has an IEP. So we all have IEPs. Every student really has an IEP. But it's up to those parents to work with the school. The triad is the student, the school district, whether it be the classroom person, the administration, and the home. So the three of them, those three sides of the triangle, the triad, over the course of all the years, to me, has such an important effect upon the success of the student. We have made inroads. We've looked at the scores, we've made inroads in it. The administration has been the same over the last 4 years, and we're working very hard within that. With that being said, it's important that parents become a team with us so that we could work with your student to see how they can get from point A to point B. All of us in life have a gap. In life, we forever have gaps, so we have obstacles and bumps in the road. but it's important, not, when the students are little, everyone comes to open houses. It's packed. And then these old jokes is they run to school, the parents run to school, but then somehow over the years, in the 50 years I've done this, we lose those parents. I saw that whatever role I had, or even as dad myself. I'd see my daughter's classmates, I'd see the parents when they were little, but by the end of the time, you wouldn't see them. We tried everything. We had a report card night. You couldn't get your report card. You had to show up into the gym, and the staff would be on the outside of the gym, and you get the report card, and then you almost had to walk by the staff in order to get out the gym door. We work late, so we had it till all time. So, the staff stayed late, they had a card. But the point being, over the years, I've tried everything, and the staff has tried everything. But I think we're getting ahead of the game a little bit. I think more people are being comfortable to come. They're not looking at us as a suit and a tie. They're looking at us as people that legitimately care about each one of them. And I think the important thing is everyone has an IEP. So that's the key thing. Now, we have a boys basketball game tonight. It's been tremendous. I spoke before. We've made so many strides. The middle school sports has been unbelievable. We have a spirit team. Somebody said to me last year we would have a cheering team. I would think they were crazy. But at the last home game, it was like a packed gym. The spirit team was going, everyone was going. So we're on the upswing. We're looking for the spring sports. We have the baseball coaches all set. We'll even have softball coaches. And as the younger girls come through the softball, we will have teams up there, more teams up there. So we are growing, and I think that, again, we need the parent support. Because as they get older, some of the students get jobs, and it's harder, just like the parents somehow aren't as involved with their academics unless they're sports oriented or whatever the case. Oftentimes it means they have to drive them at night because they get to gym late or whatever the case is. So I think that's an important thing. Now, a couple of words about the profile of the graduate. We're making great strides in that. Right now, we're looking at the profile and how that would look. Actually, there are several people on that group that are here. And is there something that you would like to add, just a few words about it, about where we are and where we're...
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Tomorrow, the snow doesn't stop us, which I have forbidden the snow, so we'll see how powerful I am. But we should be at our last meeting tomorrow. We have at least a rough idea of the graphic and the specific words that we're going to use, and so I think we could finish it tomorrow, and it's exciting, and then can get it out there and share it and live it, most importantly, right?
Yeah, it's very important. Jan?
Yep, I think the committee did great work last time, coming up with 3 different visions for what it could look like and settling on one, so it'll just be kind of finalizing what that'll look like.
Larry?
It is a pleasure to see the energy and the variety of good ideas coming. When it's done, It should work to show incoming students what is expected of them, the same way the RAMS does now. It will show the parents what they can expect their children should be doing, and it should serve, as the original idea, as a passport and an introduction to what employers can expect from the person going through, based on what has come through is character, creativity, and courtesy. And those you can get no matter what your grade point average was. And that's important.
Excellent, thank you. Very, very well put. Rob?
You make me follow Larry.
It's a tough act.
It is. No, I think he's absolutely right. I think it's something that's going to focus efforts pre-K all the way through senior year.
I think that's the key. That's what we're trying to do. From birth, I will say the last part, it isn't crazy. It's when you're a graduate, birth to grad. And that's the key. Because we're trying, as Bob pointed out, Carrier, we're one SAU and we're pre-K and we're working as a team. Everything we're doing as an administrative team is geared toward the whole student and being one. That's the niceness of being one, being small and being one. And that way we know all of the students, we know all the parents, and everybody knows what the what to expect, and therefore comes and gets there. So I'd like to thank you all for that.
Anybody, any hand? All set? Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
Thank you. I will. I cannot let Bob Carrier go without complimenting him one more time. And I started thinking that the selectmen have done a good detail work and used unassigned general fund to draw down the cost of town government. And I thank them for that work. And I decided to speak because of Bob Carrier, whose detailed review of the budget has been extraordinarily patient and courteous. One thing that has not been addressed is the school versus the town budget. And I know everybody talks about school budget, but town versus school budget. The town has the ability, and I'm talking to people behind me, notice the bald spot. The town has the ability to reduce almost every item on its budget on its own authority. And that's an important point. It can reduce almost every item in its budget on its own authority. The school, not. It must report to federal and state Department of Education. It must report to special ed law to prevent professional credentials such as speech, psychology, social work, and to contract obligations in a workplace twice as large as the town, and with 500 people who depend on the safety that the school provides every day. The other thing, I'm speaking structurally. I'm not speaking for the budget committee. But Doug just gave me the fund balance that the school has had left at the end of the year, fiscal 16, $340,000 in 2017, 130, in 2018, 365, and in this last year, 63,000. Somebody who has the time and clever math should go through in the new town budget where costs have been reduced by taking money from the general fund and compare that to what is called the surplus in the school budget. And I think you will find a very level seesaw. Just a thought.
Thank you, Larry.
A level seesaw.
Moving on, financial reports. I don't think I need, well, maybe I better go to the end of the page. I think I asked it at the deliberative session. All right. We have $925,593.31. I'll make sure I get that in there. So we have only had 8.8% left in our budget. You know what I'm gonna say?
So wait for it.
Wait for it. Is everything encumbered?
No.
All right, thank you.
Oh.
Okay, go on, anything else?
The biggest reason that went up is because I finally had a chance to put in from the tax rate the $361,000 from the extra adequacy aid, which is not encumbered, and then there was I believe it was the $60,000 from the warrant articles, which also is not encumbered. I have spent yesterday and today going through that every line, so I'm getting there.
Okay.
But it's a slow process.
But it probably won't be really done until the end of the year, when we get right to the end. Then.
Well,
Everything encumbered?
yeah, I mean during any year during the school fiscal year, I mean we're encumbering monies up until 6:30. Like last year, we were encumbering monies on the last day of the calendar year, so it's not unheard of. Right now, we're just trying to ascertain what's out there and what we need to spend,
And what we have
so
left.
that we at least we have an idea of what's coming.
Well, I was interested in the fact, I know what the rest of the board thinks about it. I think maybe what we ought to do for next year is make a pie chart and show on that pie chart what salaries and benefits are on the pie chart, facilities, electricity, fuel and all that, transportation, and staff and stuff like that. I think that would would help.
Okay.
I don't know what the rest of the board thinks about that, but something to work. It's up to me. Just a suggestion on my part. Anything to help us determine our budget. Anybody have any questions on the budget? Egg, I'm glad you did. Speak up.
You're
What
glad I
page?
did, okay.
What page?
I'm gonna just start on the first page, and a lot of it is gonna go through. So what I need from you, Nathan, health and FICA and retirement. I know we had the masking things, but can you explain again, please, why we are over? And I'll look at the first one. 52110 on the first page, elementary teacher health is over $10,000. So that could just be somebody taking a different plan.
Page 1. I
Yes.
don't see that. Yeah, so keep in mind, these numbers that we budgeted were about a year ago. We tried to ascertain what they were going to have.
Right.
So the fact that we've overspent 10,000 is either it's going to be somebody new coming in
Who's
and
doing a
going
family.
getting maybe a second a two-person instead of a single.
Right, or a family
it's
or
someone
something,
who
yeah.
changed it, who went from a single to a two-person. Or
Okay. All right. I just wanted to verify that and that's what I thought it was going to be. But now on the second page, we have FICA and retirement. 52240, and that's FICA, and then 52340 is retirement.
Mhm.
And just kind of looking through, other teachers and paras. Is that because of the masking or the mask, whatever you want to call it, and it's now going somewhere else and there's
Yeah.
a credit somewhere?
Yep.
Okay, all right. That's all I needed.
That's it?
Yep, just verification because they all seem to be the same. And we are over in a couple places, but I'm sure, like middle school tuition out, we had to send a student out. Oh, well.
Okay, moving on, page 35 then. It'd be your monthly revenue report. 1/1/20 to 1/31/20. All right. Everybody else set? With that? Page 37 and, well, no, to 37 to, yeah, it's the monthly grant report, 1/1/20 to 1/31/20. Any questions? So we're doing okay on receiving our grants and our revenue?
Yes.
So they're in line with our predictions?
What predictions?
Well, we forecasted in the past. Are we doing good that way? Don't you estimate and then we,
Oh, yeah.
so we're doing,
We typically are right around the ballpark. It's hard to tell because it's more now because throughout the year we get other grants, which is adds to the bottom line, like the CSI or those safety grants.
okay, so they're added in that also.
So those are added into the project, the federal grants.
But those we haven't accepted yet, so we have to accept, we have
Well,
to have public hearings in order to accept them.
typically, yes.
Okay, all
So if you're talking about just the anticipated, then
Yeah.
we're right on.
right. Okay, all right, that's what I meant really.
Okay.
But people need to realize through the year, we get grants for the whole year, and then have not originally been calculated when we made our budget in the beginning of last year. Okay, page 44 and 45, and that'll be for December 9th.
About 42, 43.
42 is November.
Did I miss it? Did I mess up again?
Right there, yeah, there it is.
There I go,
Just
bud.
November. Food
I'm
service.
sorry, I moved the pages around. That's food services, November 9th, 2019. So that's, so we're in a deficit there then. What's our deficit?
Well, if you go to the next one on
That's
December,
better?
that's the updated one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, give me the next one. Page 44 to 45. So it's 13,515, all right? Am I wrong?
No, 13.5 is the budget amount.
Okay.
And we're only down 11, which is good.
Actually,
11.
we made a profit in December,
We
Yeah.
didn't make a profit.
$1,738.
How'd we do that?
There's an accident.
Good job, didn't it?
Food was improved.
Nate.
I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And just so you know, last year at this time we were down 22,000.
So we're only down 11.
Yeah, so we're doing really good this year.
I'm glad you caught that thing, I did.
Because I think Nate and I ate, right, Nate?
I had Kathy.
About three times a day.
Okay, we can skip 46 because 47's an update. We got more money now. And I think what's happening, I think Karen might be sending me those monthly reports, and I think I might have forwarded them to you. Did I? No.
December's the last one I got from you.
Oh. I thought I sent it out to everybody. Well,
You sure you have January?
I thought I sent it out. I'll have to look at my notes. I texted to all the board members, I thought. Okay. Any, that's what's left in our capital reserve funds.
Question, Doug.
Go ahead, sorry, Paul.
Back to the food report,
The what?
the food, the lunches.
Yeah, go
Do we
ahead.
have a rough estimate? I know I ask every year of how much we are owed from people who haven't paid yet, or people owe for lunches.
Yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Is it working with the letters going out? And I know we changed it up
It's
this
somewhat
year.
working. Yeah. I wish it would work a little better, but we're still going through the process of it. I want to say it's about the same as it was last year.
Okay.
So.
Anybody else? Okay, I'll move on.
Thank you.
Go ahead. You all set, Paul?
Yep.
So page 47? So that's our capital reserve funds, trust funds. Okay?
Yeah, I just have a quick question on that. The technology Only because I presented that at the deliberative session. That's pretty much down to almost nothing because they did buy some new computers, correct?
Yeah, they haven't,
And they've not
they're
put
in
it
the
through.
process of purchasing them.
Okay.
It's like $3,900, so it'll be about $900 left in that account.
Okay, I knew it had gone way down, so, all right, thank you.
I don't know.
Question.
Go ahead, I'm writing my notes here.
What's CRF/ETF? What does that mean? Under the category?
Capital Reserve Fund or Expendable Trust Fund.
Okay, thank you. Capital reserve or expendable trust. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, page 48. I have to say, this form was a lot of work. Poor Nate got tired of seeing me, and I kept saying, he had ideas and I had ideas. And we finally came to an agreement. All right? And I wished I'd had this at the deliberative session, because I think it might have helped us a little bit. In our net operating budget, that's our operating budget that we approved without any grants or anything, we only had $39,405 left. So if anybody wants to do the quick math and divide it in there, that's more than 0.5% left in the operating budget, and that is really, really good.
Tight.
So I want to say this again, and I'm going to put it out again, and I don't understand. I would like to know where that $500,000 surplus is. I do not know where it is. I need some help, because I can't find it. Now, if you go to the year before, for 17 to 18, we gave back $365,484. And the reason we did that is because that was the closure of the SAU. And what did we get back? $185,000?
It was like 160.
160?
Yeah.
So that was from our closure. We had extra that we gave back to the town, or helped the town. So the other two are, we did the other two because they were easy to come up with the figures. But I had a list that went back all the way back to 2009, but we found that would take a lot of work to delve and get those figures. But these are the last 4 years. And I must say, I did this for the benefit of the budget committee, and I must say, they do come up with good ideas and they make me work. And I think this would, once they see this, I think it'll be easier to explain to the people exactly what's happening. And also I did a lot of reading on, people don't realize I'm 91A. Oh my gosh, I'm almost think I'm a lawyer myself now. I want to thank people that make me work. That's what I'm here for, to work for the people and the kids. Okay, any questions on that?
Okay.
Peg has a question.
Peg, go ahead.
Can you explain the audit adjustments, and on yours, it does not have the plus or the minus?
Well, it is there. It's on the end.
No, they're not.
Yes, it is. Yeah, she'll show it to you. Up or out there. You did it different than I did.
Yeah, you're pointing at it.
But that's the revenue.
No, it's the plus and minus.
Yeah, but plus,
Plus minus, plus minus.
so what do these go to? Those?
Look,
You know what it is such a space in
Yeah.
between. Got it, never mind. So please then explain, I see what's happening.
You get it now?
Right, but there's like this great big huge space between the dollar sign and the amount,
you just
and it's
can't
like,
keep
This-
everyone happy. It's just
know.
and you
impossible.
can't keep me happy,
No.
so.
But no, I mean.
The space is to give you time to think, Peg.
I need more time than that. Can you
Yes,
explain what
you-
an audit adjustment is then, please, sir?
Yes.
I'm assuming it came from the auditors.
Yes. So on June 30th, we have to, the fiscal year is done.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to have the DOE 25 and the MS 25 has to be completed by September 1st.
Right.
There's absolutely no way we can get the auditors in before September 1st.
Ah.
Typically, they come in around end of October. So each year, there tends to be some sort of adjustment. It was only $235 last year, but
I know, it was good.
for various reasons. Something wasn't allocated to the right year is a big one, or it was, well, that's the biggest one right there.
Okay.
There are different variations of that, but,
Okay,
but
no,
that's
that's a
basically
good
what that.
explanation, yeah, thank you.
But even if anybody doesn't, in the audience or any on the board doesn't understand, ask these questions because, get it out there so we understand what's going on. Is when somebody comes to us and asks us to explain it to them, we can do it. And that's, okay, Nate, go ahead.
Yeah, so just a little FYI, we tried to make this as understandable as possible. So, like the net operating budget, like that $39,405 you're gonna see. If you look at the year-end expense report, you're gonna see that exact
Right.
number. And then if you go to the revenues, if you add all the revenues up, minus the grants, you're gonna get that $83,449.
Right.
So they'll be able to track where this is. The audit adjustment's a little bit more difficult because it's only on the DOE 25.
But no, that was a really good, I had a feeling that's what it was, but I just wanted to verify that it was because the auditors found something.
Yeah.
And I know that your reportings need to be out.
Remember when I said that we have to close the books
Yep.
as of a certain time so I can get this done? If we get something afterwards, that's usually what an audit adjustment is. If we close the books on August 1st, and then we get a bill for whatever $235, 2 weeks later, it's not going to show on our books, but the auditors are going to end up putting it there.
Yep. Yep. Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good.
Okay.
Nice report.
And I hope in the future, who's ever on this board, that they can continue this document, because I think it'll be a plus to us. That's it. Okay, principals report, I guess that, just one principal. Who are you?
I'm Jan Radowitz, principal at Newt. So I gave you some of the information, but I wanted to let you know Ben Carlson again applied to the Guild of New Hampshire Woodworkers in January, and they approved $1,000 for a router table, the router lift, and a router with some additional tools.
Cool.
They also got an independent but anonymous person to match that $1,000, so we'll actually get $2,000. They're gonna again order the equipment from Rockler because they give them a very good deal and deliver them to the school like they did last year with the lathes. And they just asked we do the same thing, that we give them a letter of acceptance, that we take pictures again as we unpack the tools and do another press release.
Now, do you need a motion or anything from us?
It'll be a $2,000 grant, is that what we said?
It's got to be a public hearing.
Right.
Okay, we'll have a hearing then, okay.
Right.
Go ahead.
Naslyn Lacey, with 4 students competed in the American Legion National High School Oracle Contest, and she earned first place and will be moving on to the district level competition. Sports update, our middle school girls basketball team had a really good season. They just missed qualifying for the playoffs. Our middle school boys did qualify for tournament play. They won their first game, and then they lost the semifinal to Smith Christian Academy in a hard-fought game. And we had played them twice this season, had won one and had lost one. So the rubber match we lost, unfortunately. But they had a good season. They are scheduled to play in the Farmington 500 tournament tomorrow, depending on the weather. Our high school boys, I know I had written there 4 and 7, but we beat Farmington last Wednesday night, so they're now 5 and 7. They're currently playing Epping this evening, and they'll play Hinsdale again this coming Friday.
At home.
At home. Tonight is right now. And Friday's game is at 6 o'clock. New Hampshire Girls Technology Day, UNH holds this every year. We took 15 of our 8th grade girls to the New Hampshire Girls Technology Day at UNH. Christine Pratt, who's our STEM teacher, took them. They spent the day in the Innovation Building Interoperability Lab and got to see how they made circuit designs, electricities, made a light up patch that you can wear in your clothes, that sort of thing. So, and then spoke with a bunch of other students about careers in the STEM field.
Oh, excuse me, this was just for ladies then?
Yeah, it's a girl.
That's good.
They do it as a girls in technology.
So if I wanted to go, I'd have to dress up as a girl. Oh, I better not hold that joke. Oh my God, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Facelift, you know.
They had a good. Drama production, on January 31st and February 1st, they performed 2 one-act plays. The Reality Stars Greek Gods Edition, and that's the ticket. They're already starting to plan their spring production, which will be either in May, late May or early June. Then we had early release on January 29th. So we had 2 middle school and 2 high school groups. The middle school group reviewed the NWA test data that our students took in January. The math science group felt very productive, gave themselves a name that I won't say in public, but they got stuff done. It's basically their name. But they reflected on what we've done so far in skills, what they've taught so far in their curriculum, looked where any gaps were. They've decided to rotate the curriculum a little bit because the students are weakest in geometry and they really won't get to the geometry unit until May, June, but they have to test in April. So they're already looking at skills, hitting some of the geometry concepts prior to that. Very happy, most of the students showed growth, so they were very happy when they looked at what we've done so far in their math interventions. Those were the areas they showed growth in. So they're very happy to see what they're doing is working. The ELA group also was very pleased. Some of the students went up. They were disappointed in some that went down. Then they also looked at what are they teaching and where do they need to maybe put more focus. High school, one group looked at our tests. What they're finding is students seem to be losing the skills. They'll have it for the test and then 2 weeks later they don't have it. So they talked, we've quit doing midterms and finals. Do we need to start doing more cumulative assessments to see if we can help the students, doing a spiral learning to keep those skills more current. And they also then, our specials group, so the Unified Arts group, looked at their types of assessments, where they're similar, where they're different, how they compare to other schools in the area. Looked at how can we encourage our kids to do their best at all times, turning in a final project that's presentation ready, not just I slapped something together and turned it in. So they're also looking at the Bloom's Taxonomy rubric, which our ELO grading rubric is based on, to see if we can get kids to some higher level thinking and responses. So it was a very productive day for everyone. Upcoming events, so tomorrow we have our awards assembly for school. Friday's a busy day. There's ASVAB testing. The middle school will be watching a Chinese New Year lion dance. It's also the 100th day of school, and we'll be having a pep rally to honor our winter sports. And then next week is our high school student.
I do have a question, and you talked about it the last time you went. Did we notify our high school kids reminded them of their 20 hours?
I met with all of the seniors, reminded them, we had them pick caps and gowns because we had another company that offered them to us and they were similar price, so we showed them the 2 different types. The fabric is different, the sheen is different, and had them select which one they wanted, which made it more real for them. And then we talked about the 20 hours of community service and that they would be wearing the cap and gown if they didn't get those in. So they are very aware of it.
Now, let me ask this quick. Is it good that we have this project? I
think it is because one of the things, again, that we're even looking for in Project of a Grad is a community service citizenship component.
That gives them exposure to the world.
Yeah, and seeing how you can give back to your community.
Okay. We need more of that. I just wanted to check. Thank you, Jen. Anybody else? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question, Jan. I know STEM has been around for a while, but it's now becoming STEAM, adding an art component. Are there any plans?
Not yet, nope. We're just glad that we got the STEM class to all
Okay,
age
good,
groups this year. And
good.
she's been incorporating some robotics into it.
Okay.
So it's the first year she's taught it, so.
Okay.
I do know that she is
Don't push
looking
it.
at incorporating the 3D printer into the work as well.
Well, there's the art.
Yep.
Okay. Good, there's the A.
All right,
Thank you.
All set? Moving to number 6. Reminder A, we only got 1 meeting in February.
Yeah.
That may change.
Is that vacation?
What?
Yeah,
week?
it's
Okay, all right.
It may change.
How may that change?
Well, down the road here.
School vacation.
Well, I may.
It's my vacation from the kids.
Well, I'll explain down later.
Okay.
You as a board, I'm only one
I'm kidding,
vote.
Doug.
It's
I'm
one more
kidding.
votes.
I'm kidding.
We have an issue we need to deal with. Okay. All right, let's go to B, deliberative session discussion. I thought it went real well, all right? Okay, and I want people to realize where's my note.
I want us to realize where his note is.
No, I had, the operating budget is what, about $23,000 less than the default budget.
Is it less or more?
More.
It's more.
More, okay, I'm sorry.
Yep.
So what I'm gonna say to you people, and what you don't realize, if you wanna vote, I shouldn't be saying this, but if you vote for the default budget, which is higher than the operating budget, it's gonna cost you more money. Is that right, Nate?
Yes.
Why is that?
Nate?
Because with federal grants for gross appropriating, the operating budget is higher. But when it comes to taxation, federal grants aren't in consideration. So you take those out, and it makes the operating budget is actually about $13,000 less than the default budget. So it's a difference of about 3 cents, but per thousand. But it is lower than the default in that aspect.
Everybody understand that?
So what should we vote for?
Sorry.
No, but I can memorize it.
All right, moving on. Okay, I put C on here, and I don't know what anybody's feelings about bringing cursive back into schools. But what I did is I heard a story about someone's grandson, was sent to Virginia Tech, and I don't know where that is. It must be a
Virginia?
Virginia?
Okay, is it an engineering school?
Yes.
Okay, what? Okay, I didn't check it out.
Let's bring geography back, Doug.
Thank you, everybody. I've been out of school for a while. I don't know what Virginia is. What he required, I guess, his grandson was going for engineering, and what they required their students to do is take a course in cursive. And the cursive was non-credit, and they had to take it as an engineer because kids nowadays don't know how to write.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to put that in there. I don't know I just want that out there.
I can let you know that currently, Miss Norman, okay, in social studies, they're having a unit where they have a career, and they have to have a budget, and they have to write checks, and she's also teaching them cursive, so they can write and sign their checks.
Nice job.
Go ahead, I'm
Good.
sorry. I mean,
I know that Mrs. Susie in the 3rd grade at MES, and I think she may be doing it with Miss Lansman's kids as well. They are interested in cursive, so she sort of
Good.
is making it for them. And I do agree, Doug. I don't necessarily think we need it to the degree that maybe it was taught when we were young, that and in the perfect penmanship. But but basic, simple
Yep.
cursive, so that they can
Yes.
recognize it when they see it. And also, studies do show that it's helpful for note taking and things like that because it can be faster, and there's a connection between the hand and the brain and all of that. So some cursive I definitely think is valuable.
well, I gotta tell you a sad story.
Totally agree.
Tell you a sad story. One of my grandsons, he tells Grammy, when you send me a card, don't write in it because I can't read it. So which is sad.
My kids, I do that all the time. They're like, I don't know what that says. Read it.
I can't. Okay, I thank everybody's input. I just wanted to bring that up, let the public be aware. It's an issue out there. Okay?
It is.
Now, this is D. And I don't think what you people realize, we have 30 sealed envelopes for sealed minutes. I'm sorry, that we need to open up, review. If you don't want them sealed anymore, we make a motion and not seal them. And then we put them, they can go into the book, the public can see them. If they need to be resealed, we have to reseal them. Now, I did talk to Gordon when he was in here. There is a proper way to do it, and I wasn't sure the proper way to do it because I've never done a whole lot of them, and I just wanted to be I was correct. And what we do is we follow the same, and I can't give you these all before, and I know I have, framework on here. You go into non-public, you can open them up, review them, then you have to come out of non-public, you get back into public, and that's when you have to seal. So I don't know what we as a board, if you want to leave it for the next board down the road, but you have 30 envelopes that need to be reviewed, and I don't know how the board wants to, I don't know if the board wants to call a special meeting.
Why don't we do like 5 per non-public?
Okay.
Like 5 at a time or something till we're through them.
Aren't they like supposed to be done
Yes,
in a year?
some of them are. Some are indefinite. And Kathy, all I wanted to do was find I kept putting Kathy off, and I apologize, but I just want to do them the proper way, because if I get a 91A, I would want to make sure I do it right. So if you want to do them at every set, we don't want to have an extra meeting in February to deal with all 30, or we just want to do 5 at a whack. That's what I was talking about.
We could do like 5
Don't move
at a
in
time.
February.
Just like if we do 5 at a time, like that's 6 times. I
Sugar.
make a motion to unseal the sealed minutes. We can reseal the sealed minutes and read the unsealed minutes and reseal them again, like you do all the time.
Sealing the minutes, Donna.
Right. This is your favorite thing as school board. We could do it 6
Like your
times.
Christmas 6 times.
So we want no meeting in February.
Until all 6 minutes.
All 30 of them?
No, 6 at a time.
6 at a time.
Okay. All right, then you want
That'll
to
do
do
5 at a
5
time.
minutes.
Then he has
Taking
6
away his
times. He
holiday.
can do
Let's
it.
do 6 at a time, and then that'll only be 5 minutes. 5 meetings.
That's one less he has to do. He likes to do it.
Well,
No,
let's
I
do them
don't.
one at a time then. He really
That's
does
our
enjoy it.
responsibility. I have a responsibility as chair.
We'll do 5 at a time until they're done.
Okay, is that
It
what
is
we
I'll
want?
make a
You
motion,
just
5 at a
want to do
time.
it.
I will second that one too.
Okay, I don't have to make it a motion, I'll go along with it. I have no
Okay.
problem with it.
We don't need a motion? Good.
No, I don't think so. I
So our meeting
just want a
definitely is
direction from the
canceled.
board members. We gotta do
We
it.
like this. We do like this.
Make a motion before
We'll
you have a
review
special
by.
So this
No.
means we don't have a meeting in February.
No,
then.
we don't have an extra meeting, you're all gonna have
Good.
off.
Thank you. Get that on
Okay.
my calendar.
The reason, this is a policy change on E,
Bus drivers.
okay? And what this one is, it's mandatory. So I didn't,
Bus
so go to
driver.
page 56. I'm sorry, my policy people,
Oh, that.
we got no choice.
One I have right there.
What does it have right here?
Go to page 56, and that's what's required by law now.
Oh, yeah.
We got no choice. So, I've never had this happen to me before, dealing with something that's mandatory. So I don't know if we have to have another hearing, but, so I don't think we should, we have to do it, we got no choice. So, I make a motion that we, adopt the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse Part 382, period 701,
How are you getting that?
I will second it.
page
Sorry.
56.
I
Language.
didn't mean that.
Right here.
So sorry.
Tammy.
Sorry.
I'll cover you.
That's all being
I'm
so
gonna cover
professional
you.
in you over there.
Right.
It's too bad the recorder was on.
Tammy said where that.
Right. Then if you're,
So I make a motion, we adopt that.
I'll
Oh,
second.
there it is.
Do we
I'll
need-
second, yeah.
We need any discussion?
To adopt.
Nope.
No.
And I wasn't taking the job away from my policy committee, but
Let me check. Melissa, are your feelings hurt?
No.
I'm good too. All right, don't worry about it.
all right, Paul?
Aye.
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 So, and I don't know if legally we need a second meeting. I've never had this problem
No.
before.
No, we don't.
Okay, all right.
That's a mandate, so we have to, we have
Yeah, all
to
right.
accept it.
All right. All right. Okay, moving on, plow truck. Well, it went down and it's back. All right. So, the test might be tomorrow. Oh, good, I'm sorry.
So the oil leak was fixed,
Yeah,
and now Bob was in here for facilities today, and he says sometimes when you plow and you put it in reverse, the truck stalls, and you have to wait about 10 minutes and then it'll start again, but it won't until it's ready. So that's what it's doing now, so. Good times.
On site.
Yep.
Site.
Only reverse though, so they're just gonna plow little circles all the way around until it's all done.
Kind of like mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
Guess that's why we need a delay.
okay. But when we spend a lot of money on, I guess, I'll do more back in the old business, I just don't wanna know how we're doing with the feasibility study.
We are waiting for the election.
All right, okay. I said I'd put it on there every time, so we'll keep our thumb on the issue, and it'll be on there again, and, okay.
We kind of had an update at the end of the school board meeting the last time.
Okay. All right, this will be for Paul, the Milton Elementary office employer option call.
So we've been discussing about heating and cooling in the foyer area and in the office area. It's been hot in there in the summer and things like that. We were talking about doing because through the air handler system, as part of that, there was a couple different ways of doing it. To extend the ventilation from the actual building itself and run it into the office area, it would be an additional $18,500. To add ventilation and cooling, it would be $19,450. Or we could put what's called a mini split in on the outside of the building and just cool that area for $5,000. And that would be we could do it under continuation of the foyer improvements. So it would fall under partial grant money. So we could do only our portion would only be $1,000 of it.
Winner, chicken dinner.
That's what we said. So we're bringing that part forward to the board to do that.
Did you say what? Winner, chicken dinner. You never heard that?
No, say it again.
Winner, chicken dinner. You've never heard winner, chicken dinner?
No, I never have.
I know, right?
Oh, to be younger than them.
I heard of it, and I'm
Winner,
like,
winner,
oh,
chicken dinner.
Right?
You've never heard winner? Oh my goodness.
I've
So-
heard of it.
Do you need a motion for us to proceed with it?
Yes, we do. We'd like a motion to proceed with
Which
that.
one? Can we say which
The
one?
one I'm putting forward, the facilities committee is putting forward the one to do the cooling only using mini splits through the foyer improvement,
Want me to read what I wrote?
the foyer improvement project, which is available through grant money. We would pay 20% of that, which is $1,000, and the grant would cover the rest.
I will.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Peg.
I will second that proposal.
What you said.
Yeah.
What you said.
You want me to put
Cheapy one.
exactly what I put
Okay.
there?
And I mean, I have to tell you this,
You have to ask about that part.
Bob and I think Bob did a lot of work on this issue because him and I discussed it in great detail.
Well, good. Question, when is it gonna be able to be done?
Motion to
See,
finish
by doing this,
cooling
we have to have an
portion of
answer
the
tonight,
project,
because
or-
if we didn't answer tonight, he wanted to do the air handler, he would have held up the air handle project. So the air
Let's get non-public.
handle project will go forward, no problem now.
Well, I'm also curious when,
I didn't,
because for the sake of the people working in the office, it's gonna get hot in about a month and a half.
did he give us a date, Paul?
Because they already have to, even though it's winter.
Well, the
they
air
already
handler,
have-
they want to start doing the air handler project.
But I mean,
by-
the cooling of the office
Mini
itself,
split.
how long will that take?
That's not a long job compared to like the running duct work out there. It's literally you put a compressor outside and a little thing. It's those.
Right, do we have any idea when they're gonna start it?
No, because we just approved it now.
Right,
So
okay.
it depends on the approval.
I'm
He'll go
just,
back.
like, I know they
he'll go back
already
and
have
get
to
on the
turn the
list.
fan on, so
Right.
in a month and a
Like
half, it's
tomorrow.
gonna be, yeah, like,
Yeah,
because I
so-
gotta go in there and sign for my volunteer pass, and I gotta face everybody.
Yeah, so we haven't got that part done.
Okay.
but Now that we have the approval, we can get the wheels turning.
Good, thank
What
you.
what people don't realize with the air handler, the temperature outside may be 80 for the air handler, but also the temperature inside's gonna be 80 also, is that not right? Is that what Bob said? When we get the new air handler in.
Right, because it's only for extending the ventilation. So if we were to spend that 18.5 and expand the ventilation, all it's doing is just taking the air it's pushing around the building and making it that temperature. It's not adding air conditioning to it.
Right.
Because it's not air conditioned. So you're just blowing whatever ambient temperature is what it's going to make everything. It's just moving air.
In the
nothing
whole
more.
school.
Nothing more.
Yeah, which is.
So
what
this
needs to
it'll
be
actually
done.
put some cooling in the foyer and the office area as well, because it's like
Okay.
it's like a oven in there with that door shut in the
is.
in the atrium. So
Well, well, I don't know. Bob felt that the temperature difference between the rest of the school and the office was maybe 5 degrees. It could be more than that.
could be 5 to 10 degrees more.
5 to 10 degrees more.
Seeing how the school is very hot,
Yeah.
that's really hot.
Yep.
Larry?
Small joke, air handling, in informal circles, this is known as fresh sweat. The townhouse recently installed heat pump, and I believe the best quote was from Mike Curry here in town. So we investigate that. Keep the locals in mind.
So we're going with the 5,000. We're going to end up
Correct.
paying. Peg made the second.
Thank you.
Paul made the motion.
You know, the peepees.
PP, the two Ps.
Please.
Okay, so 5,000, we're only gonna end up paying 1,000, which is better than 16, 18, and 20, I agree with everybody. So that'll be type 3 that we're going with. Paul?
Aye.
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 All right, so passes, thank you. Okay, that gets rid of that one, air handling. You wanna do the air handle on the status?
Yeah, we can. So now that we have all the stuff established for that, he's going to be doing the walkthrough February vacation. So we can get the bid packets ready. So the engineering's going to go through and walk through everything we have to do so we can put together a packet and then put it out there for the bid. We're going to move on that soon because it's a big project and we want to get it started soon after the school year's over. So it's going to be very intrusive, so we need to get it done after, as soon as the school year gets out. That's where that sits.
But just as soon as Bob gets that other issue taken care of, we'll get you yours, completion date on it.
Right.
So we aren't concerned. Moving on, committee and board member reports.
Just did mine.
That's what he just did.
I just did mine.
Oh, okay, well, because I had it updated, we want
Yep.
status update all the time.
Yep.
Peg?
Just the budget committee meeting, vacation week, just dawned on me. Nothing really to report. Our adjustment to our operating budget was voted down by the budget committee. 1 vote for and 4 against. So, but I honestly think it was a very good move, and so thank you, Doug, for
Oh,
bringing it up.
well, I didn't do it alone, everybody.
No, but it was your warrant article that you had to talk about, so,
It was-
and you did a really good job with
I
it.
think it was a total, and I'll be honest, I think it was a total team effort from everybody.
Well,
Go ahead.
like I was saying before the whole meeting started, the people at the deliberative session know what this is all about. They know the ins and outs of this. They come to every meeting, they go to all this. The people that didn't come and the people that don't understand are the ones that are just gonna do the blanket no. So they're the ones we really have to inform with the voter's guide and things along those lines to make sure that everything's explained fully so they know what it is they're voting on. They just see a number and say no. There's a reason behind what we do, and I think we proved that at the deliberative session, that there's a reason why we ask for what we ask for. We're not just pulling a number out of the air and say, okay, this is what we feel like spending this year. You know, they have to understand, it's like, for this budget to work, it's like, okay, I'm gonna fill my car with fuel on July 1st, and I'm gonna be running on fumes June 30th. And there, I'm gonna be taking money in, money out, money in, money out, unforeseen things, grants, and then still have to put across that line at the end with the minimum amount of overage so we don't get screamed at for hoarding money at the end. So that's the part we have to worry, people need to understand. We can't just pull a number. Try it yourself. Do your own budget, and I can guarantee anybody tells me what they spend, this is what I'm gonna do over the course of the year. I could pick it all apart if I wanted to, but you don't know what you're gonna spend in your own lives every year and what's gonna come up, what's gonna break, or what you might win or might get. So people need to keep that in mind when we're trying to do this budget tight, and I think our numbers this year prove it with that last paper, the 39,000. We did really well. And they need to understand that. We're not just doing this willy-nilly and say, it's a good year to raise taxes again. There's a reason we're doing what we're doing.
If I can just add, I was obviously at the town deliberative session, and there were, I'm gonna say probably half the number of people there.
Usually flip-flops.
I know, I was really shocked to see it. I thought,
More.
pardon?
30 more this year than last year.
Yeah, and usually it's the flip-flop, but anyway, I do have to commend the school board for really talking about every single one of the warrant articles, why we need it, this is the backup information, and that really, to me, was not evident at the town. Yep, this is the warrant article, I'm gonna read it. Okay, I'm done. And then go sit down. And the biggest question was the SRO.
Yeah.
And I actually got up and spoke for the SRO, just having worked in a school with an SRO, and just the person is there, and the fact that the SRO did a fantastic presentation for the 8th grade students on sexual harassment. And I got the whole presentation for Chief Prouse, and he just did not have anybody available to present it to the kids. And I know I spoke to you about it, Jan. And it was a missed opportunity. We don't have, 30 police officers on duty all day long. And, when they're there in the morning, that's great. But if they need to be called away,
Right.
and I know there was good old Facebook. There was a posting about, the I don't know, something about the gangs in 7th grade, the 7th grade gangs. Oh gosh, now we've got gangs in the 7th grade or something. And I wanted to just write and say, no, it's more for the parents in the morning who go the wrong way and then pass the school buses with their stop signs out than for the kids. But anyway, so I did get up and I spoke for it.
But
So.
they also need to remember it's not just to prevent crime and prevent gangs. It's like you said, that presentation on, and I assume they'd be doing DARE, they'd be teaching DARE. So there's a lot more to it. There's a lot of preventative. It's not just reactive. We're going to have a cop there to, make sure there's a presence so nobody does anything wrong. That's not the point of an SRO.
No, not at all.
So that,
not at all.
The
Anyway.
people that think there's gangs running amok, that's why we need it.
But they're going
they're
in
less,
between both schools too.
more ill-informed than
Not
anybody
just
else.
the one.
And,
Yep.
and Chief Crouse did say that the DARE program is limited because he can only
Right.
release an officer to do the 5th grade, and it should continue. I
The
mean,
DARE program's like a 7 different grade program.
yeah,
So if we
yeah,
had an SRO, they would teach all the different grades.
right. So anyway,
I just want to share something with the board, and what I did is how I prepared myself. It's up to the board if they want to. For the deliberative session, what I did is I made a list of all the non-resident, I typed it up. Also, I went in and made what I thought under Chapter 32, municipal budget law, pertinent issues that dealt with what was on the floor, and I made copies. Okay, and then what I did is, then I went to 39, which dealt with the meeting and petition articles. Then I went to government and town meetings, duties and stuff like that, moderator and all that. And I took your names
Could
when
have
you,
been a moderator? Nice.
yeah, when you, the ones where I signed, we had to change it, but that was in there. In order to prepare myself, and then I did Nate's charts, and then I did my information, and then I had the thing where everything that the budget committee cut, I had that also in there. Then I did Article 3, this is my backup information. Okay, anything that we needed information, warrant Article 6 is there, warrant Article 7 and 8 is there. And then I did warrant Article, I'm just trying to help that maybe the town can do the same thing. And here's the other one on the bus, okay, that's in there. That was warrant Article 11. Then I even did technology. That's in there, my backup material. And, well, see, the last one was, I even did work on the petition article. Okay? And then the MSD, SB form from Nate, I put in there. And the MS-27 form. All right. And that's it, and that was, and I also, and I kicked myself in the butt. I wished I had, I wished I had brought the 2018 tax rate breakdown for the town of Milton. I only had 2019. And what people don't realize, the school's tax rate went down by $1, is that right?
Correct.
So I wished I'd brought that up and mentioned that at my meeting when I was there. And I apologize, I missed that one, but I will not miss it next year. Good.
this is for everybody else because I do work very closely with Doug. He works, I know there are only 24 hours in a day. He works 48 hours a day.
Yes.
Just saying. So, Doug, I don't know how you do it, but thank you.
Well, you get a text 1 a.m. or 1:30 or 2:30 in the morning. You do get them.
I was just gonna say that I didn't want to make him feel funny.
funny
But-
that he works 48
but
hours a day.
I legitimately, I think something happened to my kids or my grandchild, but all of a sudden I hear a tick, 1:30, 3:30, 4:30. And some nights, it's all of the above. So it's like well, you know, I wish you'd spend some time on this, Doug.
I promise I will. Okay?
Doug, winner, chicken dinner.
Well, I never heard of it.
I know every year we start off in March.
Chicken dinner.
We're going to do it again as soon as the election's over, where we do the specialized positions. This is why I push for Doug to be the chair every year.
Duh.
He knows everything
No,
there is
no,
to
no.
know about school board and how it interacts with the town,
Yep.
with the laws, with Nate, with all this stuff.
I don't know everything.
What a wealth of knowledge.
No, I
And
know.
I would,
I know,
if I
I
sat
know.
there, I'd look like a complete fool
No, you don't.
compared to
Not even
the stuff that Doug knows.
Yep.
And like you said, Doug's out there trimming bushes at 3 a.m. out
Yeah.
behind the parking lot. I'm not doing that, so.
No. I must admit, this last session, I had to put a lot of extra time in because of the 91As and a lot of other things. So like I said, I think I'm almost a lawyer with 91A now.
Oh, Nate has something, Doug.
The lawyer now.
Go ahead.
Would this be a good time to go over to revisit the voter's guide?
If you I'm sorry, yes, you'd like, Ken. I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot to write that down.
All
I'm
you're
sure
really
you got a
looking
few
at
notes on that, Doug.
is the first article. That's the only thing that's changed.
Okay.
Okay.
I unbolded.
Tell him why you unloaded them.
Yeah.
The attorney suggested that
Advice.
any bolding be taken off.
He strongly So you got the count
And
now,
he-
you'll put
He-
that
He was
on?
very adamant that
Yeah.
we
You
should
got
not
the count
bold.
now, you'll put that on so that I can have.
I have it done. I'm just waiting for you to beg for it.
Do you need one? You don't need, do you need one?
I got
So
it
can
all
you
here.
send that to me in an email, please? Thank you.
So will we have the estimated tax rates on there?
And well, the last page has the tax impact itself.
On the back, so they only got to
Yeah.
use the back end.
That I think is
The
really
very
good.
back. And that is updated.
Okay.
This is the, so this is the actual guide, okay.
Do we have extra copies?
I did think there's a few extra
Yeah.
ones.
Oh,
Got
I
any
have
more
them
for
all
the
right here.
people
Are
here?
you on some?
I gave
No,
you
I
guys
Larry
everyone,
and
all of them.
Travis?
Travis,
Sorry, my
Larry,
bad.
and Larry.
Larry? You want one?
Is this any changes we're looking at?
Just both.
Just the increase. It was
Oh, if you get this, you could text
It's
Doug
just
about 1:30.
the Article 2 is the only one that changed.
Okay.
No.
So do we have any issue with this? Did I make a motion that I approve this document and we send it forward?
I'll second that.
Write my name down. Okay. Anybody else? Any comments? Anybody happy with it? Paul?
Aye.
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 Thank you, everybody. Send it forward.
Thanks.
Sorry about that, I missed that.
Sorry, I almost forgot to.
And I don't want to beat a dead horse about the deliberative, but I do want to say that I'm really sorry that I got iced in up north, but I did watch and really appreciate all the people that did come out and show such strong support for the school and for some people in particular, Larry Brown, what you said. And I think it was Rob Qua that said your eloquence was sort of one of the best parts of the day. And Travis, I know you always show up for things, and I know scowling at me for saying your name, but sorry.
Not
and
sorry.
Right, not sorry. And Al as well, and Esther Culverhouse, of course. I just really appreciate people that spoke, but also just people coming out. It's hard. It's not easy to do.
I have a question.
Go ahead. Did we vote on it already? Go change your vote?
No. How come this one says 51, the other one's 21?
Because the
Because
operating
the
budget.
increase, the 150 you put back in.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
what, that's
yeah.
what made
Yeah.
that way. Okay, that's why I want to make sure. Okay, cool.
Good question, thank you. But I mean, I want to put the invitation back. If anybody out there's got any idea to keep our costs down, Humphrey and Woods, if you got some ideas, come to us. I'm a taxpayer, and I tell you, I'm on a fixed income, people. Okay, I'm retired. consider me a senior. I'm 70 years old. I'm with you. Help me out. I'll listen to anything.
If you're a senior, I'm elderly.
No, you're a senior. All right, so the door's open.
Nana Steer.
Okay. 63, do anyone move that one down? Because I want to deal with some other issues before we get to those. A and D ought to be done last, if it's okay with the board.
That's fine.
All right, with me. Page 66, we have a resignation. Wait,
Whoa,
sorry.
whoa, whoa,
I'm jumping the gun.
whoa,
We have public comments when we
comments.
need, public
Whoa.
comments.
I'm jumping. I want to go home. I haven't had supper yet.
Right off the deep end, bud, right off the deep end.
I haven't had supper yet.
You must have worked 49 hours yesterday.
Public comments. Just if you guys are awake.
Oh, you're jumped on that one.
Okay, no public comments.
Secret things going on.
Ira?
Come on, Larry.
Travis?
Our
Larry?
secret meetings.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Maybe you and I being cheeky.
Cheeky?
As usual.
Another meat?
Chicken, dinner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Again, people may think that I don't like numbers. I do like numbers. And one of the things that Humphrey has done, good thing, is to focus on monies that are unused in a budget. I don't think that has been a useful and complete answer, but I think it's a very important part of it. For several years, in past years on the Budget Committee, I always wanted, which is probably, and everybody can fill in the punchline, I want an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And I want it to come to the Budget Committee every month. And I wanted to say that in the past month, we had the following extraordinary expenses. Either they were low or they were high. And money in the linear budget has been changed this amount for this reason. That is going to save the Budget Committee so much work. And it's also going to tell you where you are next month, what happened last month, without trying to deal with that wonderful mess that is the new process. That's a simple thing. And I hope the Budget Committee, however it is constituted, takes that up. There was one other point about the budgeting, which I have lost. If I sit back down and think of it, maybe you'll let me come back up. But again, next year, when the Budget Committee is at this point, they will not be dealing, should not be dealing anymore with the mythical 5 years of expectation of what was spent by category. I would like to see 2019, with the work the Budget Committee did, as ground zero to track categories in real time, so that you can see what the budget has done and what the impact of grants is and what the actual money that the school district has that is under your voluntary control.
All set? Travis, Jim?
Thank you, Larry.
All right. Okay, I guess I need a motion to enter non-public.
Make a motion into non-public.
I'll second.
Time again. 7:19.
I can't see the clock, sorry. My glasses are being
7:19.
fixed.
7:19, yeah.
Can't see.
Glasses are being fixed?
Yes.
Okay, that'll be under RSA 91A 32 A, B, C, I, J, and K. It's 7:19.
Non-public we are in.